and the Steelers right here on ESPN. And the Steelers are going to have their star wideout back on the field. DK Metcalf back at practice, you see here, after being suspended for the final 2 games of the regular season for an altercation with a fan. Certainly good news for Aaron Rodgers and company. And new on NFL Live, Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers weighing in on just how different this year has been for him.
One thing I really love, and it's kind of the antithesis of where I was, is there's not really any leaks in the boat. Every year you have difficulties and adversity, both on the field and off the field. And to go through a season like this and to be able to focus on football and not have a lot of other little out there has been really nice.
Rodgers and the Steelers' offense have kept things short this season, averaging the fewest air yards per attempt of any team in the NFL. As a result, Pittsburgh leads the NFL in yards after catch per reception. This could be a good thing for them, as the Texans' defense has been 16th. They rank 16th in yards after the catch per reception. So brilliant, outstanding defense in Houston, but maybe that is one spot where the Steelers might be able to attack them. What should Pittsburgh's game plan look like on Monday?
I think it's going to be just that. When you talk about the short passing game, so much is going to be said about DK Metcalf coming back. And yes, that does open up the down the field element for Aaron Rodgers. But so much of what Rodgers does has been to the running backs, Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Warren. Both of those guys in this last game, 14 targets between them, 13 receptions for 97 yards. Kenneth Gainwell leads this team in receptions and is second in targets. So I look at it for the Houston Texans defense. How fast can you close to those running backs when a check down happens? How fast can Henry To'oTo'o and Azeez Al-Shaair, can you get to those guys and not allow all of that space? Because that's what you saw a week ago. The Baltimore Ravens dropping back in their zone, checking it down to Gainwell on a 3rd and 6, and he's picking up 15 yards because he can break a tackle or two.
Worth noting, Jalen Warren, their other running back, missed practice today with an illness. Of course, they have time. They don't play until Monday night.
Not great. So you're going to hear everyone say, well, you got to, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got to run the football, and then you got to get it out of Rodgers' hands and protect him.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I mean, that of course.
Yeah.
The problem is, one, you got to block these linebackers. I just want everyone to watch the linebackers. This is one clip. I can give you 157,000 from this season.
That's a lot.
Look, I just watch the other angle. Watch the sideline angle. This is To'oTo'o. You tell me what he does to that offensive lineman. He's on his back, okay? That's the problem. Number 2, we call these overload fronts with man sticky coverage. Overload meaning they're going to put Danielle Hunter by himself, the 3 guys opposite him, cross face to the center. Now, 1, you've got one-on-ones, 2 of them. 2, there ain't nowhere to throw the football. I don't care if you're throwing it short, intermediate, or deep. And so this is a massive challenge when it comes to, like, if we can just do this. It sounds great if you're Pittsburgh's offense until you're out onto the field having to go against that defense.
Sunday night was magical for Pittsburgh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Home game, terrible towels, Rodgers 400 yards, dialed in. Boswell misses the kick, but then Luke misses it. Tomlin afterwards is kissing the camera and beating his chest. A lot of my concern is, okay, is this the magic ride was starting, or was that the game where it was like, yes, we beat the Ravens, we won the division, and now I don't know what we do here. Look at the defense you're looking at here from the Texans, and just the guys that they have drafted alone. They have methodically built this roster in such a way where it is homegrown talent, and they are the best at what they do at each one of those spots. Then you add in Danielle Hunter, you add in Al-Shaair. Like, let's not get it twisted. This team ruined the Chiefs' season this year. They beat the snot out of the Bills. They travel as well. This is a different beast in that Baltimore defense.
Quietly coming in as hot as any team in the league in the entire playoff field. Houston always gets that early Saturday.
Yeah, Hannah, their last playoff one was in 2016, and when we pointed that out to left tackle Dylan Cook this morning, he said, dang, I was still in high school, which I think really underscores how long it's been and also made all of us feel very old. But Mike Tomlin said earlier this week that that is his story. It is not a collective baggage, that this is not a group that in its entirety hasn't won since 2016, and Terrell Austin said the same thing. But I asked defensive tackle Keanu Benton if it meant more to this locker room to try to get that win for a guy like Cam Hayward, who's been with this organization since 2011 and has won 1 game. TJ Watt, who has never won a playoff game. And Keanu Benton said, yeah, I mean, you want to win it for yourself, but you want to fight even harder and win it for the brotherhood and win it for guys like Cam and like TJ.
It was great to see Cam and his real-life brother have such a special moment in Week 18 with his brother scoring the touchdown. And for Aaron Rodgers, he's known playoff success, but this is his first run with the black and gold. What can you share about the locker room's faith in their quarterback?
And it is an incredibly strong faith. And I look at the fourth quarter of that win against the Ravens that shows exactly how this locker room feels about him, because we asked TJ Watt what was going through his mind during that last drive that the Steelers scored on. And he said, I felt weirdly calm, weirdly no panic. And that's what all these guys in the locker room have said. Dylan Cook said that he loves the way that Aaron Rodgers leads, the way that he commands, that he is just very relaxed. And it makes it easier to play when your leader is relaxed. Another thing that's going to make it easier to play this weekend is that wide receiver DK Metcalf is back. I was just out at practice. He's on the field for the first time since that suspension. I asked Arthur Smith about Metcalf's return, and he said, well, yeah, it makes it easier when your top receiver is back. But he pointed to that Ravens game and said, we also completed passes to 9 different pass catchers. And like Rodgers did a couple weeks ago, he called them the cast-offs, the has-beens. Maybe he's trying to light a fire under these guys to continue to play up to that level that they did in the fourth quarter that led to the win against the Ravens.
Always lighting a fire under his receivers, isn't he? And Rodgers has 24 passing touchdowns and just 2 picks in the first game of the playoffs in which he plays. Brooke, it's going to be so much fun. Thanks. Split the regular season, the home team claiming both. Chicago never led Green Bay during either game, winning Week 16 in overtime with a walk-off 46-yarder from Caleb Williams. Each team entering on a bit of a losing streak. The Bears lost their last 2 games, managing just 16 points against Detroit. The Packers have gone 0-4 since Week 15 when Micah Parsons tore his ACL. Here are the head coaches on both sides about Saturday's games, starting with Matt LaFleur.
Just do your job and focus on your job. And we know this. Like, anytime you're playing a really good football team, whether it's in the playoffs or in the regular season, every play is so critical. So you can't have lapses, whether it's intensity, whether it's mental lapses. They just can't happen.
They're a very talented group from top to bottom, and we've kept the game close both times we played them and had a chance at the end of the game to come out on top. I'd like to see us play better early in the game, particularly on offense. It felt like last couple times we played, we haven't gotten off to as fast of a start as you'd like.
Yeah, Super Bowl champ Jason McCourty is with us to break it down. That's kind of been the story of their season, right? Like, having to have all those comeback wins. You'd rather be a little more comfortable in this one, as Ben Johnson said. What does Caleb Williams have to do to put them in that position?
And you just said it. It's been a lot of his heroics towards the end of the game that have gotten him over the hump. But sometimes it just comes to the little things, and being able to do that, play in and play out. And even last week against the Detroit Lions, there were moments where Caleb could have taken an easier throw, what you're going to see here as we roll this tape, where it would have helped propel their offense. Sometimes you're setting up to take a shot down the field. This one they have it rare. He rolls out to the right. But right now you see DJ Moore, 3 guys all around him. Durham Smythe in the middle of the field is wide open. Caleb takes a shot down the field. That ball is intercepted. Take the easy completion and be able to move forward. You go back to the game in Week 16, a 4th-and-1 situation. Olamide Zaccheaus wide open for the first down. Now here, Caleb is able to use his legs and pick it up. But those are the small details within the game for Caleb that if you can make those throws here and there, that's what Ben Johnson is talking about, getting off to a faster start with some of the easy plays.
And it's his first playoff game, right? Yes. You know, the last quarterback to defeat the Packers twice in a season, the last Chicago quarterback, he's a head coach now. In the NFL, Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
Isn't that crazy? 1991.
Wow.
That is the last.
I was 4 years old. I remember well.
So why would you know that? But anyway, I thought that was kind of a cool stat. It says a lot about the NFL's oldest rivalry. Okay, so let's talk about the Panthers and the Rams. It's really interesting. So the Rams have to go back across the country. They have to face a team in Carolina. Epic upset for the Panthers of the Rams that nobody saw coming earlier this season. How do the Rams avoid a repeat of some of the mistakes mistakes that they made in that game?
Yeah, there's one side of it. There's the Matthew Stafford and the interceptions. The other side of it for the Rams is their defensive side of the ball. They gave up too many explosive plays to Bryce Young and this Panthers offense, being able to attack that secondary and get the ball down the field. Here it is, week 13 in that matchup. Bryce Young, he has crossing routes going over. Look how much time. Look at all of the space he has in the pocket. He's able to now get the ball down the field to Tedero McMillan, and he makes a play going up and getting the football. This is last week. You'll see the clock in the bottom all of the time. A double move up top. Michael Wilson is able to beat the DB for a touchdown. So for the Rams to win this game, you can harp on all the turnovers that Stafford threw in that first game. I believe he gets that corrected. But on the defensive side of the ball, in the secondary, Hannah, they're going to have to play deep to short and not allow the ball to go over their heads.
Only 4 quarterback pressures in that loss to the Panthers. All right, J-Mac, much more with you coming up. Thanks, my friend.